The United States, through its AFRICOM, the US Army, is putting pressure against the Alliance of the Sahel states. We have seen General Michael Langley, who recently commented in the beginning of this month, accusing Captain Ibrahim Traore, saying he's using the gold reserve or the national resources, the natural resources of Burkina Faso for his own personal protection. And right after that, he went to Cote d'Ivoire, which is a historical traitor and betrayer of Burkina Faso throughout history. Not only that, he also, General Langley, went to Algeria. Now, Algeria, this is why I come here today, to analyze Algeria's relationship with the Alliance of the Sahel states, okay? Now, Algeria has signed the military pact with the United States in the beginning of this year, actually end of January to be specific. So, now, what is Algeria's relationship with the Alliance of the Sahel states? Currently, Algeria it has a tensioned relationship with Mali, so much so that Mali has called its ambassador from Algiers. But what are the dots that led to that point? I'm going to reveal that to you. Mali, before the revolution happened, the war on terror is there ever since, Gaddafi is removed. The region, the Sahel states is all, there are a number of rebel groups or labeled as also terrorists that are in fighting against the existing government there. So allegedly these are sponsored, and there are even research that came out that these are sponsored by France and the United States. And the United States, ever since Gaddafi was removed, it was led by the NATO, led by France and the United States, and they did not still leave Libya. They are still there. So anyway, Algeria is a neighbor of Mali in the northern part of it. So during all this ongoing war, Mali's government against the rebel groups, the Tuaregs, they are called, in northern part of Mali, Algeria is designated as an indispensable mediator between Mali's government and the rebel groups. And it has enjoyed that position, for long. And, they talk to the Tuaregs, they talk to the government. And also, there were allegedly articles and research that were coming out that also, and the even Malian government, the current government led by Colonel Assimi Goïta, has accused of Algeria for helping the rebel groups, the Tuareg groups in Mali. So when the revolution happened, Mali's government said that there's no negotiation with these rebel groups. All what we want to do is that we want to take back that region that's now under the control of the rebels or the terrorists. So we don't need no negotiation. We are not going to sit on the table with this group. So now Algeria became irrelevant, and that position, serving as a mediator, is taken away from them. And Algeria did not take this lightly. Algeria wasn't happy. So since that time, so the revolution in Mali happened before Niger, before Burkina Faso. It was, I think, first Mali, and then Burkina Faso, and then Niger. Okay, it was in 2021. I think in Mali happened. Then Burkina Faso 2022, Niger 2023. So since 2021, Algeria is out of the game. So there must be something they have been enjoying by mediating, talking those two groups. Otherwise, why would you be unhappy for that? If the government said, okay, I am able now to fight these terrorists, I'm going to take back my territory, then why should you be unhappy about that? I don't understand. Anyway, so they did not take that lightly. Then this strained relationship between Mali and Algeria led to a point that Bamako, that is Mali, has called its ambassador from Algiers. And I think that was also reciprocated by Algeria. So since this Sahel states, you might ask that, then what happened Mali? Why should it affect other Sahel states? Well, I want to remind you that they have become a federation, a confederation, right? So by that confederation, their diplomatic stance against, outside of the Sahel states will remain the same. So if one country is kind of become in tension or an enemy of Mali, then automatically the same thing will happen between Niger and Algeria, between Burkina Faso and Algeria, because they have the same stance. That's one of the principles or the policy under that confederation. Okay, so this is what happened. Now, I'm going to bring you Morocco into the picture. Morocco, recently, the government has initiated for these landlocked Sahel states. All three of them are landlocked. They don't have access to the sea. So Morocco said they want to provide access to the sea or a port that will connect them to the Atlantic Ocean. So that port is built. It's not complete yet, but it is being built in Western Sahara, which is an occupied territory. Look at this now. It's an occupied territory. The group that is, fighting for its independence of Western Sahara is the Polisario Front or the Polisario Movement, and they even have a representation in the African Union. They are actually as one of, a country, but Morocco just annexed this Western Sahara, and these groups that are fighting for the independence of Western Sahara are supported by Algeria. So there you see now, Algeria and Morocco are not friends, they're enemies, okay? So now Morocco, from all the places, they are not providing them the existing port in Rabat or whatever to the Sahel states. They are giving them the one they are building in Western Sahara, an occupied territory, a contested territory that put Morocco in conflict with Algeria. And now the Sahel states is going to work from there. The foreign ministers, a week ago, the foreign minister of the Sahel states were in Rabat, and they have signed this agreement. Hopefully they know what they're doing. I'm sure they know what they're doing. It's not hopefully, but I don't know how they're going to play it. But we all see what's going to happen, okay? So this is this step by Morocco last week has even led Algeria to be more, to revenge the Sahel states. And we have seen General Langley strengthening that relationship with Algeria, and they have the US Army base there already in Algeria. So that is one, okay? The second thing is that what I want you to see is a bigger picture. Now, the Sahel states, namely Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, are being dragged into a conflict that's not even theirs. That is the Morocco and Algeria conflict, because they are going to use a port that's going to be built there in this contested area. Okay, so they are being dragged into this conflict between Morocco and Algeria. The second thing that we have to look at the bigger picture is that with this, the US Army is putting a pressure against the IES, and it's surrounding almost all of the neighboring countries of the Sahel states are hosting a US Army. AFRICOM is there. And now the Sahel states have Russia. They have Russia. And we all know how the Russia and the Americans are. I don't know, unless Donald Trump can come up with a miracle. So now Russia and US are going to make the Sahel states a battleground. You see what's happening? Russia is helping these states in fighting against terrorism. That's why actually the Mali's government said, no, we are not going to negotiate. We are able now, we are capacitated, and we are going to take back our territory in the northern part with the help of Russia. Russia's military is there, and there are military equipments in terms of military itself, manpower, it's there. You see? So it's not the tension, just Algeria and Mali or something. There's Morocco and Algeria conflict, and Sahels are The Sahel states are dragged into it. There is the US and Russia. Now US wants to checkmate Russia on the Sahel. And of course, ultimately, they want to throw away these revolutionary leaders, Pan-African leaders, like Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, Colonel Assimi Goïta of Mali, and General Abdurrahman Tihiyani of Niger. I think it's for this reason also, it was yesterday that came a news that Mali's president, there were different political parties. So there was this national conference that was held in the country, and they have given and elected or voted for, because Colonel Assimi Goïta was the transitional president of Mali, and until they do this so-called democratical election. So now they have granted him to be the president for the next 5 years. So I think strategically Mali is narrowing the chance that for any opposition party to be manipulated by the Algerians, to be manipulated by the United States Army there. So that's why. And the same thing happened in Niger. Now it all, makes sense, okay? Because, you see different mainstream media accusing, the junta leaders are now giving more term for themselves. This is what we told you in the beginning, this and that. But if you really see what was happening in the region, it all makes sense, because they have to tighten up that security. And part of it is that there is a high chance for all these little political opposition parties to be manipulated by the enemies. And, then they have to fight also inside, not only the outside, that's namely the US or Algeria, but then there are people, also if they're working for the enemy, then that will make things complicated. Anyway, that was it. So with that, I kind of, gave you a background picture of Algeria, its relation with the Sahel states, and how the US is putting pressure on the Sahel through Algeria and through all those neighboring countries. All these countries, 9 countries surrounding the Sahel states are hosting, as we speak, the US Army in their country. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of Algeria? Maybe you have some things that we don't know, I didn't go that far in my research historically, but, I just brought you the recent history since the revolution happened in the region and what looked like the relation between Algeria and Mali, Algeria and Niger, Algeria and Burkina Faso. The other thing is that also with this, Algeria is losing a multi-billion dollar business, because before the revolution happened, the West has made these 3 countries to sign an agreement between Nigeria, Niger, and Algeria to build a transnational it's called Nigeria-Algeria transnational pipeline, and that will pass through Niger. Okay, when this new government came in Niger, they have rejected that business. So now Algeria cannot have that, because it has to pass through Niger. Okay, so it also lost that. Anyway, thank you very much again for tuning in. Please share the video with others, and support us through our PayPal account and buy me a coffee link in the description section. That was it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.